Welcome back. This is Kyle with All In Survival. Today we're going to do a video response. Another local YouTuber named Sin City Guns made a comment in the comments below on one of the videos, and I'll be addressing that today. The comment was, and I'm going to paraphrase, instead of keeping a 10-22 in your vehicle all the time, why don't you look at getting an AR pistol? I agree. However, today we're going to talk a little bit about EDC and EDC bag, and you'll understand where I'm coming from at that point. Alright, today we're going to talk about EDC bags and what we would carry in them and why. So I'm in the law enforcement community, so obviously my bags can be set up a little bit different than most people's. However, the tools of the trade only vary a little bit. Basic concept is keeping enough equipment with you to protect yourself. Some people will consider that a get-home bag. I do not. And today we'll look at what I carry on a day-to-day basis on my person and also in the bag. We'll look at Vertex. Right, this is the EDC bag with a compartment on the back for quick access. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and tear this down so it's all laying out. It'll make things a little faster and we'll go through those parts. Welcome back. Alright, so as you can see, we're in a tabletop setup, and I don't normally do this because honestly I just don't really like the way it looks, but for this particular setup, this is pretty much the way we're going to have to roll. So what we see here is what's basically on my person all day. And other than the fact that you can see that there's two holsters on there. That's just a version of comfort for me. I wear concealed to and from work for the most part, depending on how baggy my clothes are. But I'm not as concerned with printing as some folks, depending on what they're doing. Alright. Might as well get it out of the way. I have a badge and credentials. I'm not really going to talk about that or show them off or anything like that. As soon as I say who I work for, they have the ability to tell me what I can and can't talk about, so I'm going to keep that nondescript. Alright, in today's day and age, always going to have the cell phone charger. This is a little notepad, Right in the Rain, plus a space pen, metal cover. You never know what kind of muck you're going to get into, so always got a little extra set of latex gloves. I carry a UV pen. This helps me determine whether documents are forgeries or not. I've used that in my line of duty. I also carry an extremely cheap, I buy these by the dozen on Amazon, because just like a regular pen, I lose those by the dozen too, so I don't want to cry by losing a $100 flashlight. I normally bounce between my Microtech Cypher and my CRK CEO. I love both of these. So one of these two is normally in my pocket at all times at this point. I carry a Glock 19 for duty, and what I don't have on the table is I have an extra mag and holder. I normally carry a non-department Glock 17 mag with a Terran tactical extension, so 21 rounds. Obviously, I'm only using that in an emergency, so I don't walk around all the time with that. Alright, next I'm going to swipe this table clean. We'll drop down what I got for my the bag, what's inside the bag, and we'll move on from there. Alright, these are pretty much the contents. There's a few things still in the bag that I'll show you as I kind of look at the bag itself, but this is what I keep in my EDC bag. Some officers will call this a ditch bag, in case things get a little too wily. As a note, I'm not authorized to use this rifle in my line of duty. However, it's my personal opinion that if I'm being outgunned, I'd rather use it and get in trouble and survive than not. So I think that there are many other officers out there that feel the same way as me. Your department may not give you the toys necessary to protect yourself in a legitimate fashion. That's a personal preference, how you want to conduct business. That being said, I always keep an extra meal on hand. This is good old number 24, buffalo chicken. And it's in there all the time. I rotate it from time to time, but I keep a meal in there in case I get stuck away from home. However, that you want to look at that. A headlamp. Extremely small, lightweight headlamp. Alright. Little compass for inside the bag. A pair of search gloves. Another pair of latex gloves. You just never really know what kind of nasty you're going to come up again. This is a SIG Rattler in 300 blackout. I run it. It is set up for a surefire suppressor, and I only run subsonic. So there are some pluses and minuses to this setup, and in my experience, I do have combat experience, and I have worked in a urban environment. Engagement distances are pretty short. This particular load that I'm running will hit with a impact power of a 45 ACP at anything less than 100. So I'm not really concerned about all of the super high-end gun guys that are going to be like, oh, you could run a this or you could do a that. I'm looking for small, compact. This one happens to be the piston version, and it's great little weapon. I do not keep this in my truck full time because this is a higher end weapon, and I would cry if I lost it. So I'm not going to do it. That being said, obviously it's an empty weapon. I keep the 20 in it so that it fits inside the bag without there being an issue. I have an extra 30. I figure if I can't break contact in under 50 rounds, there's a major problem. So, what else do I got here? In today's day and age, we're always going to have some hand sand, some extra masks. This is a rat tourniquet. Keep an extra tourniquet. And energy. This is my little, if you've got to have some caffeine in the middle of the shift. I also keep ear pro because there are times when I'll stop at the range on the way home just to throw some lead, and I just want to have it. So, gone, poof, and we're back. So, Vertex EDC bag. I really enjoy this bag. There are a few things about it that I think are just absolutely perfect for today's environment. And it's not too big, it's not too small, and it's not overt, meaning I could carry this in public while I'm hanging out with the family and I won't get looks. It's not your traditional 511 bag that's super wazoo ninja stuff. So it is a little discreet. However, those people out there that are kind of in this clique, they'll recognize the bag right away and pretty much know what it is. Anyways, that being said, first thing about the bag that I love is this rip open compartment. Alright, rip open compartment reveals my IFAK. Extra tourniquet and the IFAK. I'm not even going to go into it, but basically it's a rip away IFAK. It's connected on there, and it's concealed. It's extremely fast to get to, but it's also concealed, so I love that about it. It's perfect. This top pack, little pack keeps all my little knickknacks, and I have a ton of them, so a lot of extra stuff. This bag zip pulls all the way open, which is another function I really love, and it's pretty good size. You can keep a lot of stuff in here and it's not a problem. And what makes this mostly an EDC bag is the fact that the back side zips open. And once again, like anything that you're going to use for self-defense, you need to practice. This rips open. I keep an extra couple of 21 round magazines. These are the Glock 17s with the Terran Tacticals, an extra light. And the last thing, I took out the insert that's normally in there and I added an emergency plate carrier, right? These are AR-500, they're not steel. These are their composites. They also have stab resistance. So, yep, 3A with the extra coating on the outside. So these are great. They sit in there. They're just there. That's the just in case button right there. Normally I've got armor on, but you never know what kind of situation I might need to put somebody else in a second set of armor. Once again, this bag is not a get home bag. It's not, in some cases, it's not a ditch bag. I have plenty of friends that have actually a ditch bag and it is set up completely different. But for me, this has what I need, what I feel like I need to have at arm's reach. It goes with me in many cases, even to work, and it's right there next to me. And it's in a small enough compact little case that nobody really thinks twice about what's inside. So, all right, that was a conversation that talks just a little bit about EDC, everyday carry, and kind of in some regards a ditch bag if you're in the law enforcement community. That being said, thanks to Sin City Guns for commenting in the comment section and giving us some content to work with. Shout out there. Please go check him out. And yeah, once again, stay safe out there.